Friday Night News with me, Trey, and on today's episode of Sub-Saharan Africa Region. The Sub-Saharan region is a very beautiful place with many beautiful features like plantaceous mountains, large lakes, and rivers. Plantaceous can help shape the region's physical geography and can help influence multiple aspects of life from climate and resource distribution to human settlements and development. But one of the biggest problems for animals is if we didn't have plantations here, there would be availability in water source and vegetation. Most species would struggle to survive in these situations, with it being a drastic change to their environment and habitat. Do you know how this can be a problem in the first place? Climate change. Hey, Mr. Gunter.
Hey, Trey.
What are your thoughts on climate change?
I don't think climate should ever change, just like the students here at Page Unified.
Climate change is a real problem in our world, and this can cause a downfall in animal population within this region. Let's hand over the topic of climate change to Angel.
Hello, my name is Angel, and I'm going to be talking about climate change. Back in 2024, the UN World Meteorological Organization, WMO, posted an article called The State of the Climate in Africa. If you look at this chart, you'll notice that the greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, all have been skyrocketing from the 1990s to the 2020s. They predicted that climate change will only get worse from here. As climate change rises, it's hard for precipitation to occur, meaning that there is less rainfall to fill local lakes and watering holes for the animals. This lowers the chance of survival for animals and can influence their mating, migration, eating habits, and the food chain itself. This can lead to some of the animals being on the verge of extinction, one of the examples being white rhinos, Nile crocodiles, and African wild dogs. Their populations become even more scarce due to illegal hunting and medicine practices done by the locals. Elephants are hunted for their tusks and their use for medicine or auctioned away like rhino horns. Some of the biggest problems in sub-Saharan Africa are deforestation, large commercial distribution, and illegal hunting. This makes the population of animals more scarce and ruins the ecosystem and population. There are solutions to these problems. The local community has started replantation programs to help regrow lost trees and bring back a better environment. Others began protesting against large factories and making conservation areas to protect the nature of animals nearby, meaning they registered the area as a recognized protected area. Most causes are funded by the local government or others around the globe as they raise charity funds. If nothing is done, the climate will only get worse. Animals will have harder times surviving, extreme weather events will occur, and Africa will be the most impacted, given their renowned high temperatures already. In the light of things, African culture is very diverse, one of them being the Bantu. They originated thousands of years ago and are more widespread. The number of religions is close to hundreds of thousands, some being tribes, organizations, or even their own. They are most famous for their practice of being able to fit pots or rings onto their lips or necks, demonstrating beauty and fertility. The economics and political circumstances are one of the poorest among the globe. In an article from MPRI, poor governance is what conflicts Africa, along with the immense poverty rate as well. The political system inside Africa is more towards democratic overall. Many problems arise within Africa. As of lately, Africa has a weak institute of their judicial system and law enforcement. They often deal with corruption and instability with funds. Sub-Saharan Africa is also a great contributor to the globe economy. They have tons of natural resources and the largest free trade area, as well as the biggest population growth. They are able to provide several different oils and raw materials to other countries, some being gold, copper, rhodium, and diamonds.
Thank you, Angel. That was some great information about climate change and its disasters. See, climate change can be a real problem in our world today. Now to Natalie, what threats to the Sub-Saharan Africa region and how does it affect the ecosystem?
Urbanization. More people living in towns and dot cities urban, rather than dot the countryside or outside of towns.
The Sub-Saharan Africa region, despite having the lowest proportion, it is also population in urban areas. 40% or 472 million people is experiencing the fastest urbanization rate globally, with an annual urban population growth rate as 4.5% to to the global rate of 2%. This rapid urbanization in Sub-Saharan Africa brings a myriad of challenges, including unemployment, poverty, inadequate health care, insufficient sanitation, poor water supplies, and the proliferation of slums. As the urban population in Sub-Saharan Africa is expected to grow significantly in the coming years, addressing these challenges is crucial for sustainable development. Consequently, scholars, policymakers, and urban planners are increasingly focusing on the concept of urban liability and social exclusion.
Here we take a deeper look into Sub-Saharan Africa as a region. If you look at this map, you'll be able to see some of the most renowned areas, such as Nigeria and Niger, South Africa, Ethiopia, just to name a few. The state is surrounded along the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. As you can see from the map here, it contains desert areas and the Sahara, characterized by the bigger landscapes, plateaus, basin, rift valleys, and more. Sociology. The diversity within Sub-Saharan Africa is very complex and individual among the local natives. However, uniqueness can come at a cost. Oftentimes, different tribes or cultures face discrimination among each other, especially those living in economic hardship within this region. Their motives can be influenced by segregation, beliefs, gender, and ethnicity. The economy and political system within the Africa region as a whole. The economics and politics of Africa. In a recent study done by NPRI, the Mediterranean Publication Research International, state that the connection between poor governance and conflicts in Africa is an issue that creates poverty and inadequate development.
With a decreasing population already being a major problem, we also have an even bigger problem: illegal hunting. In the BMC environmental evidence, it states how illegal hunting has been available for over 29 species in 19 of the 46 other countries.
Thank you so much for watching Friday's Night News about Sub-Saharan. Hey! How'd you feel about our video?
Good.
Felix Bush, are you dead? I think he's dead.
2 more days.